I made the huge mistake of asking people on Threads if I could ask about someone's body, and I felt like I was getting bullied, like Bruce in that cake scene by Agatha Trunchbull, Matilda. You know that scene.
Eat it!
I don't want any. Thank you.
Eat it!
Eat my opinions. Eat my opinions. For not supposed to be talking about bodies, people had a lot to say about bodies. So I went on Threads with this real life scenario. After Thanksgiving today, seeing an aunt who has lost a lot of weight since I've last seen her, I literally did not know if I could bring it up, say she looks good, or if that would be offensive. Exhausting, honestly, but whatever. Are we allowed to do that now? Or do we just completely ignore someone who looks glaringly different? And regarding my initial threat, I have always been anxious. And I've discovered this over the past few years, that I've always been anxious. I didn't realize that all of these thoughts running through my head was actually my anxiety, because I was grown up to think that anxiety, depression, all of that stuff is not real. And I'm the oldest of many siblings. Growing up as the oldest, you feel like you're the responsible one. At least for me, I had to look out in the environment and make sure that I kept everybody comfortable. I kept everybody safe. I made sure I didn't say anything that would get me in trouble or that would offend somebody. And so now that we've gotten into an age to where you can offend anybody at any time due to what they think is offensive, this has just hijacked my nervous system. And now I'm not able to actually look out and say, if I don't say this, I won't offend anybody. Or if I do say this, I'm safe in saying that. Because now the environment that we are in, everything can be a landmine. And I've always wanted to be the person to not give a But after some back and forth discussion with people who are very passionate about what you say, what I say about bodies, I don't know, I think my mind has been changed, altered a little bit. Don't ask about my mind. You are offensive. So I'm going to go through some comments to my threads, and I want to start with the nicer ones. Let's just kind of dip our toe right quick. I have lost a lot of weight at one point in my life, and I would have been incredibly hurt and offended if people in my life pretended that they didn't see it. Heather says, I have lost 78 pounds. I do look different. I am fortunate that multiple things have changed, so we get to the weight next if they are being circumspect, but it is obvious. I get to be proud of it. I worked hard. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Circumspect. Let me Google this. Okay. So I get it now. Here's some kind of neutral comments that I got. It's just variant on the person, I guess, because if I worked hard to lose weight and looked drastically different, I would really want people to tell me, because I can't see it for myself. Sometimes we can't see it for ourselves. I lost almost 30 pounds being sick, so it's not offensive. It just feels awkward, but I don't blame the person saying it. It's not offensive, it's just awkward. Being awkward is totally fine. Depends on the person. There are don't comment on people's bodies extremists, and there are the many who say, I was so excited to go to Thanksgiving and not one family member noticed that I lost weight. I've worked so hard, I guess I don't look as good as I thought. You can't win, so just say it if you're thinking it. It's the you can't win idea that I may resonate the most with. My body had changed a lot since the last time I saw my sister. She just said in a moment when we are alone, so are we talking about your weight loss or nah? You're typically closer with the sister than you are with a stranger or an acquaintance or even a friend, right? Like, this is my aunt. I think circumstances do matter. So now we go into a couple comments that were made, and I'll share what I think about them. Kelsey says, just tell her she looks great and ideally compliment something else about her, shoes, hairstyle, etc. All I know is whenever someone has noticed my weight loss in the past, it just felt like it confirmed my biggest fears about being fat. Yes, people noticed, and yes, this new version of me is better enough to earn a compliment. So at one point, I lost a lot of weight in a very unhealthy way, and people would comment on it all the time, which just reinforced my unhealthy habits. My grandma also said, yeah, you were getting very chubby. And now that I've gained weight back, all that plays in my head is what my grandma said. So maybe just don't say anything because you don't know what's going on in someone's mind. I lost a ton of weight and people wouldn't shut up about it. It made me extremely uncomfortable. Oatmeal artist, it made me uncomfortable because it made me feel like they were monitoring my weight all along and privately tisking my weight before. Exactly. Like, you never commented on my looks before, so why now? I was already upset with the circumstances in which I lost the weight, and I felt like they were silently judging me. So I think these comments fall into the category of, you have no idea what's going on with someone else. And when we try to be so compassionate and empathetic before we take any move, make any action, we try to think about someone else's feelings before just what we naturally want to say, then we get blocked by our anxiety. And I've definitely had disordered eating patterns. I've definitely had body issues. Like, I'm a woman, okay? This has happened to me where I get in my head about people asking me what I eat, or people saying that I'm skinny, or my mom, oh, you look a little chubby. Like, it sucks. But we are responsible for then creating healthy patterns in our thinking, in our actions moving forward. This person thinking other people were thinking that they were monitoring their weight all along. Talking about anxiety again, that's on this person, right? It's not on all of these other people who may or may not have been monitoring their weight. So now these other group of comments, they bring in their rules. And to be fair, I asked for people's opinion on this. So they're bringing in their opinions, which they deem as rules that other people should follow. Again, I guess I asked for it.
Do you want it?
I don't want
Because you're
it.
asking for it. You're dying for it.
Don't comment on other people's bodies. If she brings up her weight loss, then go for it. You do not know the reason for weight loss. It could be an illness or the result of stress, trauma, or an eating disorder, or many other reasons. Same goes for weight gain. It's interesting because in this and many other videos that I've created, people immediately go to something bad. They're like, you don't know what they're going through. It could be trauma. It could be illness. Why is it always bad? And no, I don't know what everybody's going through. But for me to take into consideration everything that everybody is going through, my anxious brain can't hold that. You could try, how lovely to see you, because yeah, no, we don't do that. Okay, so this person is saying, do not respond to their body at all. Like, literally ignore their body, except for the fact that I see it and how lovely it is that I see it. I'm looking in your eyes. I'm not looking at the rest of your body, except your eyes or your body. How do I do this? Never comment on someone's appearance unless it is something they can change in 10 minutes. That's the general rule. So interesting. I've never heard this general rule before. So hairstyle, clothes, makeup are all fine. What does it mean that if I were to say something about this person's hairstyle, be like, hi, what's up with that hairstyle? No, you can change it if you want. It'll take less than 10 minutes. This general rule of thumb, I've never heard of it. Auntie, I love your top. The color looks great on you. But body shape features just don't mention unless the other person brings it up. Aunt, I've never liked my eye color. I think you have amazing eyes. It's that simple. It's that simple, guys. Just follow that general rule and stick to the script. It's that simple. These comments, they really hit on some of my anxiety. It's not morally bad. It's just that you can't know the implications of it for the other person. Agreed. Don't make yourself the main character and you won't feel so bunched up about it. First of all, they're commenting on my thread, on my page, talking about my experience. And I mention my aunt and not wanting to offend her. So I get I'm the main character, but like, can I be main character in my life? Is that chill? Is that cool? Overall, I'm going to be thinking of myself while still holding compassion for other people. I can do that, but I can be the main character in my life. I think that's okay. Growing Through Something said, have you tried just being more considerate rather than making everything about you? I think it's so funny that this person takes one thread that I put up and just assumes that I make everything about me. Again, I am the main character in my life, but this thread, I was thinking about my aunt and how I didn't want to offend her. People that you have one interaction with over the internet just assume your whole life and personality, and it's wild. Growing through something. You're going through something. How is not commenting on someone's body exhausting? A person's body is the least interesting thing about them. Tell that to everybody who asks me in public how tall I am. I'm 6 feet tall. I've played basketball, sports my entire life. Being tall, for me, has been a very interesting thing to people out in public. Even to my family, every year they're like, have you gotten taller? It's the same thing. But to say that someone's body is the least interesting thing about them, it's like, okay, well, when I walked in the room and saw my aunt, I wasn't thinking, oh, I wonder how her vacation went. I don't know if she's recently gone on a vacation, but my eyes instantly went to her body and the fact that she had lost a lot of weight. So it was kind of interesting to me. I think bodies are interesting, and we need to stop lying to ourselves that bodies are just like a throwaway, because that's how we seem to be treating them these days. Whatever, don't tell me what to do with my bodies. Even if I'm killing stuff, or even if I'm eating unhealthy, or even if I'm gaining a whole bunch of weight, don't tell me what to do with my body. Does it really matter? Whatever, that's another video. And then we just got into insults. Just people insulting me, which that's the internet in 2025, right? This is a response to one of my comments. Rachel says, I'm sorry that you were raised by wolves. What? But in human society, it's been common from the beginning of time. The beginning of time. Wow, this, Rachel, you are a historian. From the beginning of time, not to ask something such as, have you had sex with grandpops lately, Granny? How many have you done today, cousin? Can I sleep in your bed, brother-in-law? Or have you been doing that because you don't want to watch every little step? Who the asked those questions? I'm kind of thrown off by the wolves comment, and just this woman just like assuming I'm so stupid. And those are some really weird questions that she proposed. It's like we get so specific and we forget that the universe is infinite and there's literally infinite ways for something to go, or questions to ask, or situations to arise. And we're like, do you ask these 3 very specific questions? Yeah, don't ask anything else. That's Rachel for you. Do whatever the you want, but the issue is it is usually directed at women and their bodies. I wonder if any of these people know I'm a woman. I don't know, because my profile picture, you can't really tell. I have a hat on. It's like a mirror selfie. I don't know if any of these women are kind of thrown off because they're like, is this the woman or is this the man talking about his aunt's body? If you want to comment on your aunt's body, go ahead. It's weird at best, but no one is censoring you. I know, I'm censoring myself. You might face consequences. You might hurt and offend people and they push back. People are telling you how to be respectful. If you choose not to be, that's your business. I understand that other people will deem what I say as respectful or disrespectful, and I cannot control that. And I say that now after discoursing. You can do whatever you want. Just do it with the knowledge that it might make you look like an Again, anything these days, anything you do might make you look like an asshole. It just depends who the audience is. So that was an interesting back and forth with some people. And I want to know what the hell happened with women's bodies over the past few years that we have to like glorify and glamorize women, but we can't talk about their bodies. We can't mention their bodies. Look at Cynthia Erivo, I think is her name, and Ariana Grande. Everybody's talking about their bodies. I'm sure some of these people are still out there being like, don't say anything about their bodies. But guess what? It's still gonna happen. People are still gonna talk about what they think about. I think the bigger idea out of this whole discourse, this whole conversation, is the fact that we are making rules as to how we are able to connect with one another. Isn't it hard enough to connect with each other already? We're looking at our screens all the time. I talk to people on the internet more than I talk to general people out in public. And it's exhausting that we have these rules of thumb so you cannot be offensive and not be an asshole. And so now in social interactions, I'm sure people have had the same reactions and thoughts as me. Now people are like questioning their thoughts, questioning their feelings, questioning everything. And then in turn, not having real interactions with people. I think everybody wants interactions to be good, comfortable, make sure everybody's safe, we're in a safe space, but there is no safe space, okay? We need to have difficult conversations where people feel uncomfortable. And you know why? Because that pushes up against our comfort zones and then we expand. But if we're like, no, you can't say that. No, you can't say that. No, you can't say that. Then we're going to be so little and small and afraid and fearful that we won't be able to have any interactions at all. Asking a question in what in the land, you never know what you're gonna get. kind of in a bad way. Let me know what you think in the comments. I would love to hear. And if there are any other topics that people are like, don't talk about that, I want to hear about them. Also comment those below. That is all for this episode of What in the Land. I will see you next time. Bye.